guys. This is KT, and you're listening to the Jamaica Funk Show. Wow. It's been since last Thursday since I've talked to you guys. So tonight, we got a great show for you. I'm going to do a little numerology. We are going to be talking about Michael Jordan and about his growing up. I'm doing this in probably a 4-part series. And I'm going to talk about him numerologically, because I know just a little bit about it, but I know a little something. So I'm gonna attack it that way also. Then we're going to talk about how to form a non-profit. Let me get the words out. Non-profit corporation. What is better known as a 501c3. I'm not an attorney, so you can research what I tell you just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. I've done a little research and I got some information here I'm going to share with you about the subject. But let's see. I'm coming from a book by the name of How to Form a Nonprofit Corporation. Step-by-step guide to forming a 501c3 nonprofit in any state. And it's written by attorney Anthony Mancuso. So we're going to talk about his book today also. Then we got some sweet reggae music. Not only do we got some sweet reggae music, but we got some Joe's poetry, excerpts from her resume, and then we got some reset. I think I'm going to start off with a little reset because we need a little resetting since the week has started. Give us a little encouragement. So without any further ado, I want you to sit back, relax, grab that last piece of jerk chicken and whatever it is you're eating or drinking, and let's get ready for some show reggae music. Well, IRIE MON.
Reset. If you had the opportunity to live life over without limits or boundaries, having the ability to manifest your goals and dreams with the opportunity to live life on your terms, would you be willing to develop the greatness in you, stepping into a new dimension that supports your expectation of life? Each of us has the power to step out of ordinary into extraordinary living, a life filled with limitless opportunities with the access to an abundance of everything. But it starts with resetting your 5 senses. See, our 5 senses gives us the ability to hear, see, taste, smell, and hold. Some of us have put our life on hold because of the negative things we have been told throughout life's journey. What we have seen and heard have caused us to put up roadblocks, leading us down the path called Impossibility Boulevard, detouring us from smelling the roses, tasting and partaking in the beauty of unlimited possibilities that life has to offer. It's time to reset our thinking, creating a new reality that demands us to be optimistic in the midst of adversity, knowing there is always a way out when we are able to look beyond the obstacles and see the opportunity within. living life on our terms start with making a commitment to become invincible and unstoppable when it comes to our goals and dreams, refusing to be defeated or mistreated, having the courage to put life on blast, no longer requiring life's approval, choosing to live life the way we see it and not the way life dictates or demands. Each of us have the power to press reset. When we reset our life, it resets our reality, causing us to live on purpose. The kind of life that I'm referring to will cause controversy amongst the turtles when you start running with the giraffes. No longer will you allow negative conversation within or without keep you from coming out of the box. Our determination will cause us to push through the impossibilities, rising to the call of it's possible, moving us forward onto higher grounds. Elevation, exploitation brings new players to the game. Fresh ideas and courage will eliminate fear, breaking the barriers that have had us chained, refusing to be held back in the game we call life. This is your season of opportunities. Today is your day to live life on purpose. Impulse won't do. Put life on notice. There is greatness in you. Don't be sold by the negative stories you've been told. Living life on your terms is possible. But that negative conversation, see, that's what's old. There is nothing new under the sun. Whatever you want to be or do, there is someone who has already begun the journey on the road you desire to travel to. It's your turn. Now let your feet hit the gravel. When you live on purpose, it demolishes the thoughts of it's impossible, enlarging your horizon and opening the doors to unlimited opportunities, moving you beyond involvement into commitment. See, the pig was always committed, whereas the chicken only got involved. If you are ready for a revolution to take place in your life, then now is the time for you to become bold, ambitious, and radical. You have the potential to live an extraordinary life. Your goals and dreams are dependent on you to free them from within so they can rock the world and blow minds across the globe, opening new doors and giving opportunity to those that have been sold on it's impossible to live your dreams. The world will see your story alone, that ambition is the vehicle that awakens dreams. Being radical makes us be determined to see the possibilities in the negative advertisement. And potential declares, I have what it takes to manifest my goals and dreams. If I have to retrain and refuel to be able to endure the journey, I am determined to deliver what I came to earth to give. I suggest that you start today by building a team of people, starting with yourself, that is willing to motivate and inspire you. When times get rough, encourage yourself to continue moving forward, staying committed to the journey, knowing if you believe in your dreams and can see them, have faith, you will definitely achieve them. Each of us has dreams that are worth living. The people that are living their dreams refuse to allow the gravity of negativity to pull them down, nor are they waiting for greatness to be created or show up on their doorstep. They understand that greatness is not created, nor is it discovered. It is awakened and developed from within. This is your time to shine and your season for greatness. Are you ready to awaken and develop the greatness in you? You know what you got to do. Press reset.
Wow, I love that. I love myself some reset now. It gets me ready, gets me geared up and ready to come on and talk with y'all and tell y'all what I got to tell you. Some positive reinforcement. That's a good dessert to have after dinner. So, Mr. Michael Jordan. Wow, Michael Jordan is an interesting character. His family is an interesting set of family. I was reading his book, written by Roland Lazenby. That's Lazenby. Roland Lazenby. He writes Michael Jordan, The Life. So he talks a little bit about Michael's parentage, his father's parents and his mother's parents. His father's parents were poor, and they, as a matter of fact, his father's parents, okay, because they go back like 2 generations. It goes back to Michael Jordan's father's father. They talk about him. He was born at the end of slavery, when slavery had just finished, 1891. So it's roughly the end of slavery. Dawson, I think his name was Dawson Jordan. Dawson's mother's name was Hands, but Dawson's father's last name was Jordan. So they actually go back 4 generations. And he is the one who begat Michael Jordan's grandfather, who begat Michael Jordan's father. And then Michael Jordan's mother, she was I think her family's last name was, Michael Jordan's father's mother or grandfather's mother's last name was Hand. But anyways, so I was looking at Michael Jordan, his birth date, which is 2/17/1963. So he's born February 2nd, 1963. And I said, let me break this down so I can see why this guy is such a great athlete. And what I found out was that Michael Jordan's birthday is an 11, and the 11 is a master number. And it's to me, I call it the Jesus vibration, because these people are very spiritual and very, very mental, very inward. They're very inward. I was reading in the book where they said that Michael Jordan was one of the only people who knew how to get into the zone when he was playing. Like, he could just go in there. He knew how to get there. Whereas a lot of people wish they knew how to just automatically get into the zone. But, because of the fact that he's born on the 17th day, so there's a 7 there. And that 7 is very, very mental, very, very meditative, spiritual. And then he's an 11. His birth year his whole birth date adds up to an 11. gives him that inward thing where you can just go in and just commune with your God or your supreme being, whatever you believe in. So anyways, he is an eight, and eight is the number of athletes, good athletes, big time corporation, corporate boss, like the presidents and the vice presidents, the big executives. Those are the eights. Eight is big business, big money. Okay. And he truly represents, like the greatest athletes who ever walked the face of the earth in our days, in our lifetime. Um, Michael Jordan, the actually when he was a kid, he used to wish that he could fly. And one day he was watching one of his basketball games, and he seen himself lift off and just soar into the air. And he looked back and told one of his coaches, "Man, look like I'm flying." So you see how, he kind of mentally brought that about because he was one of those kids who wished that they could fly, and he flew. But anyways, he's an 11. 11s are, like I said, very spiritual. They are, they're the middleman, okay? Because it's the lower side is a 2. So they are the middleman. They know how to see everybody's point and come up with a viable solution. Also, his name is Michael, which it starts with an M, and M is the 13th letter of the alphabet, 13-4. And him being a 4, that means that Michael is in control. He's in charge. He knows what to do and how to do it. He can be bossy. He can sometimes be a know-it-all. But he knows how to go out and get the bacon, put it in the pan, and never let his woman forget that he is her man. Okay, that's what that Michael do for him, and it also gives him the gift of the gab. He loves to communicate. He loves to communicate. He's good at communicating with that 4, with that Michael. And he's strong too. He's a very, very, very strong man. Um, I was looking at, let's see, I didn't do his last name, and I'm gonna do that on part 2. And I'll tie in both his first and last name. And I will tie in more aspects of Michael Jordan um, to give you some insight into the man that he was, because I mean he was a big businessman. He made big money, still making big money, because he's still the Nike. He's still Nike, basically. He's the face of Nike, and Jordans. Remember Nike Air Jordans? And folks are still buying Jordans. I do believe. I know Nike still has him on their commercials. He was also, I believe, a Fruit of the Loom guy. I think he was also a Fruit of the Loom guy, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but Michael made big money. But now the 8, given he's born on the 17th day of the month, makes him black and white. He's no gray. There's no gray area about him. He's black and white. This 8, because if you look at the number 8, because 1 plus 7 equals 8. Excuse me. And if you look at the number 8, you'll see that it is the same as above as it is below, meaning the circles are the same. The 2 circles sitting on top of one another that merges into one another. And that means that there, either way the wind blows. If he was poor, and I'm going to tell you something about Michael, just like Michael rose to the top, Michael could actually fall so very hard because he is an 8, and 8s are karmic. And being karmic, it means that whenever you do something that you're not supposed to do, something that is out of integrity with whom you are and the universe around you, you will learn that lesson right away. Michael Jordan is not the person that sits around and wait for the universe to pay him back for the crap he's done. It shows up on him right away. Trust me, right away. Whenever he does something, when he's out of place, it comes to bite him. So that's the one thing that I would say that Michael have to really, really be conscious of, is that, that 8. As long as he stays positive and keep doing positive things, he will always be a force to reckon with. So, I am KT. You're listening to the Jamaica Funk Show. And tonight I'm flying solo. If you want to hear this broadcast and other broadcasts that we have, you can go to www.jamaicafunkshow.com, and it's one-stop shopping, as my co-host Joe would say. You can see our videos, listen to our radio show, read our article, read the poetry that's there. Also, we do support and advertise Christos Furs, so you can actually, there's a link to Christos Furs right there on the website. So if you need a fur, or you're looking for a furrier to store your fur coats, call Christos Furs, and all of that information is on the website. So I'm going to let you get back to some reggae music now. Well, IRIE MON.
Yo! Jamaica, them's a piece. I never will. She do, what am I bring? DJ. All when them dreams say them bad, yo. Not even all them sleep, them nobody know. Mark 90 beat, make the pussy watch him little brother man up on the street and blood clot, them's a piece. When them hear the 50 calibers, and them no hear the thing, them way antique like the Jolly Boss. Make the link and make the gristle from T-Valley Boss. Them they think they link them from Rivali Brook. Blood clot. Pull up the car, pull out the seat. When the rifle, pull out your seat. All when police, pull up the street. Inspector, pull up the jeep, and send off a do it. Him fuck, when Martin, ready out the pussy, blood up the sheet. Yeah, make trigger finger just a click like David play the piano. And if you run under your woman, under them make you go. Then him the cop and no left the lead and the yellow. He clap the jelly chop and watch him live go ahead and spin and go. DJ, you see all when them dreams say them body up. Not even all them sleep, them nobody know. Mark 19 beat, make the pussy watch him little brother man up on the street. To blood clot, them's a piece. When them hear the 50 calibers, no hear the thing, them way antique like the Jolly Boss. Make the link and make the gristle from T-Valley Boss. Them they think they link them from Rivali Bro. Call up to the tongues and tell them for rent a vehicle fee. Call up on the men's in the BM for seat, my seat. Cause anyway me buck him up and that's how people scream. All of the brawling sun, thugs a bleach and face a bleach for see. Shoot past sight, mama get the news past Skype. Say I wash belly, you'd ground fly. You don't try, cause number one a loose ball tight. Tell the sake I put the fool pan ice. DJ, you see all when them dreams say them body, yo. Not even all them dreams them nobody know. Mark 90 beat, make the pussy watch him little brother man up on the street to blood. Them's a piece when them hear the 50 calibers, and them no hear the thing, them way antique like the Jolly Boss. Make the liquor, make the gristle from T-Valley Boss. Them they hear the pull up the car, pull out the seat. Rifle, pull out the seat. Police, pull up the street. Inspector, pull up the jeep. And send off a do it. Fuck when Martin, ready out the pussy, blood up the sheet. Make sure the finger just a click like David play the piano. And if you run under your woman, under them, make you go. Tell him the cap and us hear the lead and the yellow. Clap the jelly chopper. Let us spin a go. All when them treats say them bad we up. Not even all them sleep, them nobody know. pussy watch him little brother marry up on the street. DJ.
Thought I could live without you. Thought everything would be fine. I saw nothing special about you, but still you were plaguing my mind. I used to take you for granted. You were the last name in my life. Presently you're the most wanted at the top of my line. And it was yesterday I saw you down the lane. You and my best friend.
Jealousy.
My heart felt the pain. And now I'm falling in love all over again. Yeah. How could I ever doubt that you were my friend? I'm falling in love all over again.
Watch this.
How could I ever doubt that you were my
Say that big man don't cry. You never miss the water till you well run dry. Would you find it in your heart to give me one more blight? I won't abuse the situation. This time I won't lie. Want my nightly conversation. Also me lullaby. Fresh sweet orange juice. And me ends well fried. Garments well clean. From me socks to me tie. She's a friend also a lover. That mean me not for shy. We express myself straight up to the sky. You. Ooh, say that big man don't cry. You never miss the water till you well run dry. Me say, ooh, say that big man don't cry.
Now I'm falling in love all over again.
It's only natural.
How could I ever doubt that you were my friend? Right now I'm falling in love all over again.
As I was saying,
How could I ever doubt that you were my friend?
woman on his arm, you sweet chat, I know you massage me back. It burn me half a sister time I get that. Woman want affection, somebody feeling pan. Through me ignorance, me never understand. I'm going to take time out to show me love motion. I make you know we can't stop, correspond. I am the greatest lover boy in the island. More time you slip up, more time you go wrong. Hear me out, woman, I beg you understand. Even the wisest man, the great King Solomon. Step with him picky and get a wrong bang. That's how him lose him tune in the great Babylon. So me say, oh, say that big man don't cry. I learn the hard way. Woman, don't ask me why you. Oh, say that big man don't cry. Come very stop, come tell me girl.
Boss it.
4-1, them boy they don't know man. Come a promise man, thump in a face DJ. I want the whole Kogan.
Me murder 4 man, 4 girl. Make AK sing like vocal. Them badness like them local. Man, we sing them place like Portland.
When my be a man, all our people are dead. What 90 are squeezing a head. Tell them about rose eyes flank off, feel them. Can't tell them man believe in a lead.
Rifle rise and people are dead. Mark 90 squeezing a head. Them know we must them head. Lift up me gun now head.
Man hot up the place like pot pan stove. Funeral, play a bone box and rose. Real top killer, we no mac and toast. Tell some boys if it's up from pose. How your skin coulda tough like Batman clothes. To be 18 see clock pan nose. Lift off the head with the hands and toes. Come in all left nothing for the cops and crows.
Squeeze out the girl tech. Boil it down in a casket well dressed. Chop off a neck left your headless. Who no badness soft like a bread wet. Anybody feel brave or make step. Out of your body me we make breath left. AR-15 it well set. I no bank teller when he take check.
Spanish town roll out, people are dead. What 90 are squeezing a head. Tell about big tree, homestead, march pen. Toss pen, man, believe in a lead.
Rifle rise and people are dead. Mark 90 squeezing a head. Them know we must them head. Lift up me gun knock us head. When the Glock speed, boy drop this. Me run over them and clap 6. Boy get pop up like mob stick. Me murder your friend, me no charge quick. To kill them, me no practice. Rise the rifle and balance it. Blood leak out like tongue drip. Boy just get him tongue.
When you hear about ravers and a ding dong, out of your head where you a ruffling from. One in your face where the hollow tip slam. Big rifle a sing cross and a sing song. 50 cash shake up the place, here a whole man shout out. If I no got a King Kong,
funeral day make a mother sing song. I am memorial, them have to play this one. Maybe a man who all people are dead. Mark 90 are squeezing a head. Tell about Rose Eyes flank off, feel him. Can't every man believe in a lead.
Rise for rise and people are dead. Mark 90 squeezing a head. One of them know me, we bust them head. Lift up me gun, then a pen.
DJ Sure Bro, cool. So me I say Salt Spring, me I say Cornwall Coast. You see me? Me I say Gully. You hear that? Whole of Mobile, whole of Spain Town, Homestead, my place. TJ, what you say?
Busted.
Rivers, Killers,
G-City.
motherfucking sick niggas.
10%. Greenland.
Fort Jenners. You know what thing go? Busted. Governor.
Rise for rise and people are dead. Mark 90 squeezing a head. One of them know me, we bust them head. Lift up me gun, then a pen.
Hey guys, so I'm going to give you some Joe's poetry, excerpts from my resume, and let's see which one we're going to do tonight because we got some good stuff here. And I'm going to see which one that would be good for my, how about, let me see if I can find this. How about white privilege, black history? Let's locate that one. I'll give you that one. I like that one. Okay, so we're going to do a piece from Joe's poetry, excerpts from my resume, called White Privilege and Black History.
White privilege, black history. This is my problem with all these fabulous, amazing, and wonderful protests and gatherings. All the nations that have come together to help the indigenous people to keep big corporations from drilling for oil on their native land and sacred burial grounds. I mean, we want to keep them from destroying the ecosystem for what could possibly be 100 generations. It's so amazing how every nation came together again and protested in every airport in the country, and how ride-sharing came to a halt. The workers just refused to work, and the CEO of the company, he donated $1 million to the cause. I mean, just thinking about the unfathomable amount of human beings around the world that came together for the Women's March, it blows me away. Even the press and all the mass media are in one accord against the Orange administration because their integrity is in question, as if it wasn't before. Every person I know has an opinion of outrage and disgust, everyone agreeing to that moral outrage because of the actions of the current administration. See, I can call them that at least. But what about us, the disenfranchised black people of this country? We who protested and cried out for help when Trayvon and Michael and Eric and dozens more black men were murdered in their own neighborhoods through the abuse of authority in the police force in this country. Where was the moral outrage of all the nations in this country then? Where were the veterans and the women's rights groups and the Muslims and the immigrants who are being rounded up and told they have to leave now? Where are the Mexicans who are looking at a possible wall built to keep them out of this country? I want to laugh at that, but I won't. Where are the indigenous people? All 60 nations. What's left of 500 that originally lived on the eastern seaboard of this country. The press was there because there was a story to be told and sold to get shares on the market. Where were the judges and politicians making stands and speeches and proclamations, overturning unjust and poor decisions, demanding investigations into each and every one of the officers involved, changing the laws? They have that authority. You looked at us as we marched and yelled in righteous indignation, crying out for justice, begging to be seen and heard by deaf ears. There was a dead silence for many of our non-black communities. And while I really do understand that many of you do agree that the treatment of my people has been deplorable, disgusting, and inhumane, Why didn't you come out in droves and become that protective shield that everyone else has with your white privilege? You know, if you all just showed up, that protest would have went differently. But you didn't. Black history tells the truth. Black Lives Matter, the social activism group, has been petitioned to the Senate to be designated as a terrorist group. Whom did we terrorize? When was your way of life in jeopardy? Were you afraid we would march right up to your doorstep and shine a light on your white privilege? Did you think that the financial value of your home would decrease if you showed up? Did you think that your precious children, and they are, will see the evil underbelly of racism that is the beast that devours this country? Progressives, liberals, Democrats, Republicans, you all say all lives matter. And they do. Mine just matters less than yours. And if you think I'm blowing smoke up your ass or whining, there's your proof right there about how you really feel. Come out from behind your doors and windows. Stop using your children as an excuse for not showing up. We know it's a dangerous undertaking to stand side by side with us. We know because we are that underbelly of hatred. We are the disenfranchised. I know you're afraid that the police will not see your white privilege and shoot you too. But this is what we face every day. Do I have to remind you of the bodies hung on trees, metaphorically called strange fruit? We're that strange fruit. Do I have to continue to draw your attention to the young black men burned on a cross and laid on a heap of smoldering wood while white privilege stands around gawking at him, proud of what they've done? Do I have to show you Philip Castile dying from a gunshot wound on social media video from a police officer who saw him as a threat to society and not a father of the child in the back seat or the wife of the mother in the front seat behind the wheel, begging him to stay alive through the mere virtue of his own will? He died anyway, and the wife was handcuffed, the child taken temporarily. However, we are called terrorists, and you buy into it. Why? What terrors in the night have we brought upon you? Do you lay awake at night thinking, I could just join that march, it would have made a difference? But the police might not have seen my white privilege. All they may see is, what? Human beings standing for the rights of other human beings? You have the power to make the powers that be see me as a human being. You have the power to turn aside the tide of racism to love and acceptance of your fellow man. You used it on the righteous indignation you felt when immigrants were banned from our country. You used it when you heard a wall was being built to keep out our southern brothers from another mother. You felt it when the rights of women were being stepped on for the umpteenth time in the greatest march in the history of protests. But when we get together to protest the hypocrisy of our government, the unjust treatment of our people, the genocide of a nation, you go stone cold silent. We continue to cry out for help for all the unjust, discriminatory, and outright hateful actions against us. And you know that they are. But you won't stand with us.
All right. So we're going to jump into how to start a nonprofit corporation. I'm coming from a book written by attorney Anthony Mancuso. So I was looking over to see where did I want to start. And so it says that you want to go through the formalities and the structure, especially if you're doing a nonprofit. In other words, you want to incorporate, you want to be incorporated, and you want to get a 501c3, especially if you're a nonprofit group. It says, this is important for any collective activity, but for nonprofit groups, it is vital, especially if the board includes members of the community with diverse interests and viewpoints. Without the clear-cut delegation of authority and specific, operating rules in the articles and the bylaws, running the organization might be divisive, if not a fruitful affair. In other words, you gotta have, designated who's the president, who's the vice president, who's secretary and treasurer to head whatever department, so that when someone says something, they delegate whatever their positions are. You clearly got everything in order so that people don't form their own opinions and start to want to fight with everybody just because they think that they're right and you're wrong. Some of the miscellaneous benefits, and I'm going to do this real quick, of having a 501c3. Your nonprofit may qualify for exemptions from county, real, and personal property tax. 501c3 organizations receive lower postal rates on third class or bulk mailing. Many publications offer cheaper classified advertising rates to nonprofit organizations. Nonprofits are inclusive beneficiaries of free radio and television and public service announcements, better known as PSAs, provided by local media outlets. Many stores offer lower membership rates to nonprofit employees. Nonprofit employees are often eligible to participate in job training, student intern, work study, other federal and state, local employment incentive programs where salaries are paid substantially out of the federal and state funds. 501c3 performing arts groups are qualified to participate in performing programs sponsored by federally supported colleges and universities, and certain 501c3 educational organizations are eligible for a tax refund for gasoline expenses, for example, in running school buses. So that's part one. Next Tuesday, I will give you part 2 of Michael Jordan. I will also give you part 2 of how to run a non-profit corporation, or better known as a 501c3. Guys, something, time creeps up on us so quickly when you're having a good time. So basically what I need to say, this is KT. You're listening to the Jamaica Funk Show. Thank you for being here with us this evening, because without you, there is no us. So, God bless, and I'm going to take you out with some sweet reggae music. Well, IRIE MON.
Grooving, Lord, groove to the reggae music, Lord, go on and skank with me, baby. Gonna make you mine if it takes all night. Lord, spend some time with me, lady. Let me love you till you can't take no more. Lord. Alright, go make we take on the dance floor. Money in me pocket and pretty girl a roll. Rubber up it till a man in sweater bust through me pores. Liquor on table, I grate the smoke. The permit said 2, but we just now go home. Check it up, select that this I wanna eat down. Rastaman in the corner with it, so listen my load. And the youths them step out of pop sport. I feel like skank, Lord. Skank to the reggae music. Give her your walk, give her your walk propaganda. I don't need you for nine man veranda. Yes. Leave people business alone. Hey, beg you a walk propaganda. I don't want it for nine man veranda. Yes. Leave people business alone. Yes. I know you don't know the fullness, yet you come and stir up and snares. You ready now to tell me lies, ready for subtract and multiply. Someone told you the story,
act like you don't know me, yeah. Beg you a walk propaganda. I no need you pan man veranda. Yes. Leave people business alone, yeah. Beg you a walk propaganda. I no want it pan man veranda. Yeah. Leave people business alone.
Well, IRIE MON.